How's it going, everyone? Faerghast here, and this is the last Abyss analysis video before Ashen Wolves drops. I'm guessing. Maybe there's gonna be a new one, another one. It drops in 5 days, and Serenes Forest recently came up with another article talking about the new classes coming in. So we're going to take a look. Now, I actually haven't done a lot of kind of reading into this ever since the last ones, because I was kind of waiting for like more substantial content to come out. And now there has been. So we're actually going to start all the way from the beginning with Balthus and Happy. So there was an article on Balthus and Happy that was here that I haven't read. I think there was one also on Yuri as well. But I'm curious to see what this is all about. So I, again, haven't even read this yet. So this is kind of my first impressions again. Let's hit up the desktop and then, ciao, what's up? And then I'm going to make sure that I'm actually in center here, because last time I was not. That'll work. And then we'll go. Alrighty. So following last week's Cindered Shadows character profiles, we have profiles for the remaining 2 members of the Ashen Wolves. Okay, you know what? I'll read this one first. I haven't read this one either. Okay, it's been a while, but do you remember the 3 houses characters profiles the Japanese Twitter used post? They're at it again. All right, so the Ashen Wolves leader figure. This is translated by Serenes Forest. I used to actually be a mod there. I recently retired, so thank you, SF, for all your time. Yeah, I used to be a mod for the hacking subforum, literally until yesterday. So he was a student at the Officers Academy, but expelled for some reason and relocated to the Abyss. Beneath his crass speech. Beneath his crass speech? Really? He's crass? Okay. Interesting. Then we have like a little intro video in Japanese. And then we have Constance. Constance von Nouvelle, a daughter of Nouvelle, a noble family within the Empire that fell ruin during conflict several years ago. Although she now lives in the Abyss, she hasn't abandoned her dream of restoring her family and is always hunting for chances to do great things and be acknowledged by the world. Her manner of speech is polite, but it does little to hide her bossy attitude. Oh, man. Okay. Bossy. And yeah, so just like small profiles, so that's cool. And then we have Balthus, big old Balthus here, and we have little description somewhere. Yeah, tough guy from the Alliance, the self-proclaimed brawler, king of Leicester. His daring and careless personality doomed him to a life on the run. Thus, he had to hide in the Abyss. Drawn by his desire to protect the Abyssians who sheltered him and his fighting instincts, he gives any and all intruders a thorough beatdown. Nice. Good job, Balthus. And then Happy. A lackadaisical girl who is unashamedly apathetic. She holds no interest in any affairs, nonetheless, as a member of the Ashen Wolf, she fights to repel the intruders from Abyss. Apparently, she has a unique constitution, which is the reason she's living in the Abyss. That's interesting. A unique constitution. Okay. Whatever that means. Also, we now have a few more details about how the Cindered Shadows interact with the main story. For those unaware, Cindered Shadows will be accessed separately from the main story, and it will have its own save files. Although the 2 stories are separate, your progress in Cindered Shadows will affect the main story. Firstly, after clearing Chapter 1 of Cindered Shadows, you can visit Abyss when exploring the monastery in the main story. Okay. Furthermore, during part 1 of the main story, you'll be able to interact with the Ashen Wolves while exploring. Depending on your progress in Cindered Shadows, it will be possible to recruit these students into your own house. Neat. Students recruited to your house will, of course, participate in battles and lessons. They'll also appear in part 2 with grown-up appearances. Woo! Effectively, they'll function like normal students, and via data mining, we know we have support conversations too. By the way, here's the possible requirements to recruit each student. Once they're eligible to be recruited, that said, there's a chance that the game won't check these requirements. Interesting. Yuri need 15 dexterity and C in faith, 15 strength and C in brawling, Constance 15 magic and D in flying. Okay. I feel like the flying and the resistance one is going to be tough, but 10 res is not that hard to get. Anyway, so that's cool. We kind of knew most of that already. And the newest article, the second newest one, with Alphard. Next week, the final wave of DLC, as far as we know, will be released for 3 houses. Recently, the Japanese Twitter account has been sharing details for the Cindered Shadows side story from the DLC. In case you missed it, here's what the first set and second set profiles are, which you just read. Alphard, not to be mistaken with the well-known YouTuber. Alphard appears to be an important NPC within Abyss. It seems he's the 38-year-old male found via data mining. Although we've currently given him the name Alphard based on the Japanese name, there's a chance that his English name version is Elfric. Now that's a cool name. That's probably one of the coolest names I've ever heard. If you enable English subtitles, not the auto-generated ones, in the American trailer for Cindered Shadows, around the halfway mark, some of the lines come from a person called Elfric. These lines seem to be something Alphard would say. For pointing this out, okay, so... And we also have boom, 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 those recruitable units that are fixed recruited. Cool. In addition, we have a few more general gameplay tidbits. Typo. Unlike the main story where you can raise your skill levels and pass examinations to change class, in Cindered Shadows, each character has preset classes that you can choose from. New classes will also appear, so please stay tuned. Oh, interesting. Wow. This is like super like classic Fire Emblem. Each character has preset classes that you can choose from. Also, skill levels are fixed, so each character will have a preset skills and combat arts. Maps in Cindered Shadows will have more gimmicks, and the difficulty is a bit higher than the main story. You will need to plan around each character's role. Okay, so that's different. So instead of the kind of free-form class system that like normal Three Houses has, this mode is like really very like a callback to old stuff. Preset skills and combat arts. You have to just kind of work with what you have, and the maps are going to have more gimmicks and they're going to be challenging. I'll be the judge of that. I'd like to see how that actually goes. And the last one, which is the big ticket, Three Houses Wave 4 DLC classes officially revealed. Okay. The latest morsel is related to 4 brand new DLC classes. We already knew about them via data mining, but now it's official. The new classes: Trickster, Warmonk/Cleric, Dark Flier, and Valkyrie. Awakening fans should recognize all 4. Featured in the screenshots are the Trickster and War Cleric classes. Looking at Ferdinand and Annette's class lists, it seems our earlier suspicions have been confirmed. Both Dark Flier and Valkyrie are female-only classes. Oh, interesting. Okay. So these are just more gender-locked classes? Okay, I don't know. I guess so. And then we have a screenshot of Trickster with his Trickster boots. A magic-wielding sword fighter that dances around foes with their quick movements. Cool. In Cindered Shadows, the 4 members of the Ashen Wolves will have access to these classes. Yuri will have Trickster, while we're guessing Balthus will have Warmonk, Constance, Dark Flier, and Happy Valkyrie. That makes sense. Trickster has a new combat art called Trick, which lets the user swap places with any ally within 5 spaces. With this, you can literally trick your way around the battlefield. That's fun. We saw that in the trailer. These classes can be unlocked in your main story save files after clearing Chapter 1 of Cindered Shadows. They are listed under a new category called Special Classes. Characters must be level 20 plus and use an underground seal into these classes. Now that's pretty neat. Whoa, that's very reminiscent of Awakening. Holy cow. When you think of Trickster, there's probably one character that jumps in your mind. After clearing Chapter 1 of Cindered Shadows, you'll be able to change Anna into Trickster attire. Like other outfit changes, this can be done via unit appearance in private quarters. Whoa, this is unreal. That's so cool. Just now, you gotta be kidding. Wow, that's so cool. And she actually gets her own appearance. Huh. How about that? Additionally, Anna's portrait will change during conversations. Will change mature outfit classy. For the benefit of those who don't follow us on social media, here's some other info that they shared. Abyss has shops such as Armory and Blacksmith for you to use, but money and ore in Cindered Shadows is limited, so watch how you spend. You'll need to monitor your weapon's durability as you fight. Ore can be obtained post-battle and after armor breaking large foes. Fair enough. By the way, the durability of the hero's relic sword of the creator will naturally recover during certain points in the story, a fittingly mysterious mechanism for a sword of legend. Even if you avoided using the sword in the main story, please use it to your heart's content in Cindered Shadows. Sweet. All right, so there's actually not a lot of new information that is like really super 100% new. I guess the Anna stuff is pretty new, which is kind of like a nice cosmetic thing. The Warmonk is pretty cool. It's very reminiscent of Lissa. Let's see here. Warrior branches and wields magic. Brawl and faith. So yeah, actually Annette would be like probably pretty good at this. She's already good with axes, and brawling is a little bit more challenging. So exam test, brawl, and faith is a kind of a hard combination. You would think they would have axe as an exam requirement, but it's brawling, even though they have they have an axe there. And then Trickster is over here. All like the fixed stuff is kind of cool because it kind of harkens back to old Fire Emblem. I wonder who would make the best of these classes. I feel like Annette would make quite a good war cleric, but like there's actually like a lot of fun builds that have Annette being a Wyvern Lord, because she has great magic, so she can actually use like the bolting axe really good as a flyer. Ferdinand being a trickster is interesting. He does have a decent faith list. They don't have any class skills for these two, except for the trick thing, which is really cool. So the trick isn't a magic, it's actually a class skill. Is it a mastery or not? A new combat art. Yeah, so it's probably a mastery skill for that. Or not. I don't know. The Ashen Wolves DLC, the Cindered Shadows DLC is coming out on the 13th. There might be a new article coming out like before that happens, but there might not be, and this might just be the last one. If that is the case, I'll let you guys know right now that because I don't have a job anymore, I have a lot of free time. So come February 13th, I will most likely be live streaming this on my YouTube. So stay tuned for that. I'll definitely let you guys know what I'll be doing with that, but I'm going to certainly try to live stream it once it drops, and then kind of do a new series of that. Probably just not really like an episodic series, but just kind of like a full-on live stream, and then break it up into episodes and then kind of upload it to the channel. I'm really, really excited. This really sounds like it's going to be a very classic Fire Emblem experience with preset classes and whatnot. The mode isn't super long, so we won't have to kind of like deal with like the gimmicks or like the old style gameplay for that long. And then once we hit the main story, we can actually recruit these characters too. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. Pretty stoked. And if you guys liked this analysis, liked this first impressions video, you know what to do. Leave a like and comment. And if you want to support me, I have a Patreon down below linked as well. And stay tuned, because once Ashen Wolves drops, we're going to be on it. Deuces.